Stealth Jump alone was never a particularly viable ability, especially in Splatoon 2. However, in Splatoon 1, players began to discover a strategy that became more and more popular and even at times capable of breaking the game. This strategy involved an entire team using Stealth Jump along with Quick Respawn. Basically, an entire team would max out Quick Respawn and just continuously jump to their teammates. This was extremely effective on modes like Tower Control and got really annoying to deal with because it was really hard to keep track of where people were and it felt like it just never stopped. However, in Splatoon 2, the developers basically murdered this strategy by nerfing both Quick Respawn and Stealth Jump to the ground. In this video, we will be covering everything I have ever wondered about Stealth Jump. If I missed something, please let me know in the comments. In Splatoon 2, Stealth Jump only works from a certain distance away. We are going to take a look at the exact distance away enemies have to be until they don't see you, and a lot more. Before we get started, I'd like to note that Stealth Jump is a main ability exclusive to shoes only. So let's begin with that exact distance needed for the ability to work. For measurement purposes, we went to Inkblot Art Academy so we can use the tiles as a reference point for distance. To figure this out, I had two enemies on a team and asked one of them to jump to the other while wearing Stealth Jump. After a bit of easy testing, we found that Stealth Jump begins to do its thing when the enemy is just over 3 tiles away. This is the same for any map and under any circumstances. Here's what the distance looks like on the map of Inkblot. Now, something I became curious about while testing is how the jump band disappears. I found that it doesn't just fade away after a certain point, it fades at a constant rate depending on how far away you are from it. Also, it was easy to figure out that once the band disappears, it is not gone for good. If you re-enter that certain distance, the band will return. Moving on, Splatoon 1's Stealth Jump actually slowed down your super jump speed overall. Now, even though it is clear, I decided to test it out anyway in the new game. As you can see with this test here, Stealth Jump is only being used on the right, and my jump speed with and without Stealth Jump are the same. So, at least Stealth Jump made a little improvement in Splatoon 2. It no longer slows you down. While I had jump speed in mind, I thought it would make sense to check and see if the super jump speed ability still works the same with Stealth Jump. Like last time, only the right side is using Stealth Jump, but both gear sets have 2 pures of super jump speed. And like I expected, the landing time is identical. So, the super jump speed ability is not affected by Stealth Jump. Moving on, this is one of the most important things to note about Stealth Jump. Because enemies have to be a certain distance away for it to work, it is important to know if the non-effective radius of a Stealth Jump user is cylindrical or spherical. To find this out, I climbed to a high place and had 2 enemies on a team, one of them with Stealth Jump. Moray Towers was a perfect place to figure this out because the area is with huge drop-offs. If you look closely, while standing on this platform, the band is actually fading. If I fall straight down, standing at the same level of the enemy, the band is there completely. This means that the detection radius looks more like this, rather than this, an endless vertical cylinder. Here's another look for some more proof. Standing from up here, directly above the enemy, you can see that there is no jump band. Anyway, something else I considered about this ability was how your teammates see the jumping band. Since they are your teammates, I thought it would make sense if they could always see where you're going to jump, but this wasn't the case. I had a teammate of mine with Stealth jump over to me, and then I ran away from where they were jumping. Sure enough, the band still disappeared, so teammates are not able to see where you were jumping to either. I tested the same thing but with me wearing Stealth Jump and not my teammate, just to see if it hides your teammate's band. I already knew this wouldn't work, but we tried it out just to be sure. In short, if you are wearing Stealth Jump, it only helps you and not your teammates. I also wanted to test what happens if you and your opponent are both wearing Stealth Jump, just to see if there are any changes. When I go ahead and make these analysis videos, I try to answer every question I can possibly think of, even if it seems to be obvious. So I did the same thing as the previous test, but I also wore Stealth Jump. Everything was the same as shown. Lastly, I tested the distance with Cold Blooded, again just to answer every question I could possibly think of. With my teammate wearing Stealth Jump and Cold Blooded, the distance remained at 3 tiles. Overall, Stealth Jump does only one thing. Hides your jump if your enemies are further than 3 tiles away with a spherical radius, and that's it. It doesn't affect anything else outside of your own jump. There is something else I wanted to touch on, however. Stealth Jump works the same when a beacon is shot. If someone is jumping to a beacon, and that specific beacon is shot while they are still jumping, their jump location is revealed. After a quick test, we found out that stealth jump still works in this situation. If you are further than that 3-tile distance away when you shoot that beacon, you will not be seeing the band of someone wearing stealth jump jumping to that beacon. Anyways, that's it for all the information in this full ability analysis. I apologize if it seems confusing at first to watch, but I try to keep these videos as short as possible to get a lot of information out quickly. Big thanks to all the subscribers and viewers that are still here. Remember to join the Discord in the description, and I guess now you can follow me on Twitch since I plan on getting back into streaming. Hope to see you around, and thanks for watching. Peace.